The first dilemma is from Sydney Alexis. Hey, I hope when you're reading this, you're in a good space. I definitely am, and I appreciate it. I just wanted to say that I've enjoyed your videos over the last year or so, and it's often refreshing to hear and see you speak on topics that can often be labeled as hard truths, but ultimately, you're just giving out your personal opinions and experiences. I believe that's truly helpful for anyone who wants to listen, learn, and grow themselves. I just had a couple of questions for you. In this current chapter in your life, and as you move through this year of 2022, what is something you're looking forward to and how do you want to feel at the end of the year? Okay, so I'm going to answer these questions one at a time. So obviously this question was asked earlier this year, but for me, coming into this year, I definitely had that mentality that I really wanted to take over YouTube and just really expand my career in the greatest way possible, but ultimately that's become more of a process of self-transformation. I've realized that if I want to scale my brand and my business, my YouTube channel, my writing, all of that, it starts with scaling myself. And what does that mean? That means committing to self-development. Okay, really just getting back to the basics and focusing on, for one, the healing journey so that I can find peace of mind and get past my limiting beliefs through the power of awareness. And two, building upon that healing journey, building upon that new level of awareness, and really becoming the best version of myself that I can be. You see, a lot of people, they focus on the development aspect of self-development, but they neglect the self aspect of self-development. In order to become your best self, you have to be yourself first. But in order to be yourself, you have to know yourself. So up to this point in the year, I've really been focused on learning more about myself, learning about who I am and why I am the way that I am, and really just learning to lean into my idiosyncrasies, learning to not compromise who I am in order to appease other people. And now I'm starting to transition into that process of just going to the moon. Now, the next question is also, is there anything you believe you've outgrown recently, and who do you believe you're growing into? So that goes right back into what I just said. I feel like at the beginning of the year, I was more focused on the external goals. But what I've learned is that the internal goals are the most fulfilling to reach. Okay, when you can set a goal for yourself to become a better version of yourself, that's when you can really truly not only get to that next level in your external goals, but you can also enjoy that process and the outcome that much more. Now, I feel like I'm growing into somebody who I didn't know I had the potential to be in the past because of my limiting beliefs. But now that I'm getting past my limiting beliefs, I'm realizing that I am somebody of value. I'm somebody who is committed to giving as much as I possibly can. And that starts with giving to myself, taking care of myself. I'm not perfect when it comes to that. There are times when I can fall into the workaholic mentality. I have trouble with delegating tasks to other people. I like to do everything myself. I feel like sometimes I buy into the notion of being self-made a little too much. But with that being said, I do feel like I have learned a lot through that process. I feel like me having that mindset has helped me learn how to do different things that pertain to the development of my brand. And I'm very grateful for the knowledge and insight that I've gained in that process. Now, like I said, I feel like I'm letting go of that ambition and replacing it with excitement. Moving from a place of expanding upon the joy and love that I have within me and passing it forth through these videos, through my books, through my coaching sessions, and everywhere else in between. But at the same time, I feel like I'm now reintegrating some of that ambition to match the excitement. Now, the next question that you asked was, what does self-care currently look and feel like for you? So for me, I feel like self-care is a very personal process. I think that everyone has different definitions of what self-care is and different ways of applying it. For me personally, self-care is starting my day off in such a way where I build momentum for the rest of my day and just generally using my time in the most efficient manner possible. Because, of course, watching Netflix and browsing the internet and doing things like that, they can be fun in the moment, but it's hard for me to enjoy doing those things when I know in the back of my mind that I have yet to complete my tasks for the day. So just staying true to the itinerary that I create, the promises that I make to myself, I feel like that's been the foundation of my self-care. Okay, just being disciplined enough to take care of business so that I can truly relax and enjoy my free time. And of course, me being able to stay true to myself and my discipline starts with me taking care of myself in the morning. Having a solid morning routine And I will be making a morning routine video in the very, very near future, so stay tuned for that. But having a solid morning routine that really gets me going for the rest of the day, I feel like that is the most integral part of my self-development and self-care routine. And then you said, thank you for being yourself and shining a light on true authenticity. Thanks for growing and showing your ebbs and flows throughout your journey. Wishing you all the best energy. Sydney, I appreciate that. I appreciate you and I appreciate everyone watching this video, and I wish you all the best on your journeys, energetically, financially, just in every aspect of your life. Now, the next dilemma is from Heihachi Mishima. I know I said that incorrectly. I apologize. What's good, Jay Green? I hope you're doing well. So near enough throughout my life, I've always had problems with criticism and tough love, and I feel like as I've gotten older, it has and will get a lot worse. Keep in mind there are aspects of myself that link to being a highly sensitive person. It's getting to a point where internally I feel resentful, grudgeful, passive-aggressive, and violent. I would like to know your perspective and advice so I can push through these low moments in my life. Okay, so understand that if you're struggling to take criticism, first of all, you have to understand what the intention behind the criticism is. If you're exposing yourself to constructive criticism and that's bothering you, the chances are you have insecurities within you that resonate with the criticism that you're receiving. And you're afraid to accept those insecurities. So whenever you hear that criticism from other people, even if it's constructive criticism, that's where you kind of strike a nerve. You feel triggered because it resonates with the part of yourself that you're unwilling to accept. Now, if you're surrounded by malicious criticism that is not aimed to help make you a better person, if it's criticism that is maybe predicated on ad hominem attacks or personal attacks, then I think you should focus on clearing that energy from your life in whatever way you possibly can. If you have friends that are constantly putting you down and it's not for the sake of making you a better person, you need to get rid of those friends. Those aren't even friends. Those are people that do not belong in your life. If you're receiving constructive criticism and you're struggling with that, then you need to look within and figure out what your insecurities are. Anytime you feel triggered by a statement that somebody says about you, you need to take some time to journal it out, sit there and think about it, do some introspection, or even talk to somebody about how that made you feel. And then you can start to go down the rabbit hole and figure out why it made you feel the way that you feel. You see, the most important question that you'll ever ask yourself in your life is why. Why did that trigger me the way that it did? Why do I think the way that I do? Why do I respond to criticism in the way that I do? Ask yourself why. And once you get an answer, ask yourself why again. And keep asking yourself why until you reach that final answer where you no longer have to ask yourself why. You have the closure that you need for those insecurities, but also it starts with accepting the fact that you have those insecurities. If you're unwilling to accept the fact that you have those insecurities, then people will always have control and power over you and your emotions because you're unwilling to accept an aspect of yourself, and they can play into that, whether consciously or subconsciously. I understand what it feels like to be a highly sensitive person. I am a highly sensitive person myself. And that's why I'm able to give advice like this. That's why I'm able to do dilemmas videos and live streams and things like that, is because I can empathize with you guys. I know what it feels like. But at the same time, I've learned to kind of wall myself off from criticism that I know is malicious in intent, and also receive constructive criticism with the general understanding that I love myself enough to accept any insecurities that I may or may not have. The next dilemma is from Anonymous. Hey Jordan, recently discovered your content and glad that I did. Likewise to you, bro. I appreciate you for supporting me. I find a lot of commonality between your experiences and my own, and I'm trying to become the best version of myself. I'm not sure if you've covered this, as I haven't seen every single one of your videos yet, but I was wondering if you could do a video about self-image, taking care of your appearance and your own style choices when it comes to fashion, and how you think people perceive us, whether that's women, friends or peers, or strangers, based on what we wear. Also, if you could talk about how your own perception of what it means to take care of your appearance and how important it is has changed over the years, and what you've noticed in your day-to-day life that has been impacted by how you have presented yourself with what you wear, etc. Whether that's just been a friendly compliment from some people about your clothes, or if you think it's triggered more important interactions, like a catalyst to someone taking you more seriously when you talk, or respecting you more, or something like that. Anyway, if you've already covered this in a video, I'm sure I'll find it soon, and thanks in advance if you make another video about it. Okay, Anonymous, so I did recently make a fashion lookbook video. You guys definitely slept on it. Go and check that video out if you haven't already. But aside from that, I do feel like fashion is a very important aspect of just taking care of yourself and of becoming your best version. And I understand that not everyone is into fashion. That's not to say that you need to keep up with all of the designer trends and things like that, but just wear clothes that make you feel comfortable and confident within yourself. Because I feel like when you wear nice clothes, that's you honoring yourself and honoring your body. This outfit right here that I'm wearing is from H&M. This shirt is from H&M, this hat is from H&M, but I still look nice, okay? I can wear nice outfits without breaking the bank. And like I said, I made a lookbook video very recently where I showed you guys some of the outfits that you can put together for the low. Because you don't need to break the bank to dress nice. But at the same time, dressing nice can make you a lot of money. Dressing nice can put you in certain rooms and garner certain levels of respect that you may not have otherwise received. For example, I've gone to various luxury car dealerships and I've been treated a different way based on what I was wearing. I went to the Rolls-Royce dealership recently. I wore one of my nicer outfits and the salesman came up to me and talked to me and everything like that. And my words, my general confidence matched the outfit that I was wearing. I was able to deliver on my marketing in a sense, because outfits are more or less your marketing. It is your own personal marketing. You are showing people who you are based on what you wear. And that's not to say that that's the way that it should be, but that's the way that it is. Perception is reality. So when you can give off the perception that matches, that aligns with your true self, that's how you can get into certain rooms that you need to get into in order to progress in your life.